NBA, be afraid. Be very afraid of OKC. How they made Ja say, we will never play that bad again.
Be hard to actually do it. But we tip things off with Steph and the Warriors starting yet another playoff run against a Rockets squad who, despite having the second best record in the West, came into this first round series a little light on playoff experience. In fact, the Rockets as a team hadn't been to the playoffs since 2020. Steph, well, he's been there a few times, got a few rings to show for it. Early first quarter, though, the energy was in full effect for Houston and Alperen Şengün, taking it to the top floor, no elevator needed, and he took Draymond Green with him, trying to set the tone early, and then Tari Eason hits the steal. He's off to the other end. Rockets with a 3-point lead after the first quarter. But playoff Jim hammer and a wrench. Got the floater there. And then 2 minutes before the half, it's Steph. Knocks down a 3. Warriors now up 7. And then right before the half, Steph gets loose from there. 16 points in the first half. The 50th time in his playoff career he's had at least 15 points at halftime. They were up 47-34. Let's go to the third quarter. Hey, yo, you like that? To Reggie Miller. He was calling a game for TNT, and Reggie made a few threes in his career. Warriors were up 20. And then Steph. Watch this nonsense. Ooh, come on, dude. Ooh. They're up 23, their largest lead of the game. But the Rockets are like, yeah, we are down, but we are far from over. Şengün, that's a tough 3 by him. The deficit is 16. Right before the end of the third, they're down 11. Jabari Smith Jr. with the layup. So the lead would be 9 for the Warriors going to the fourth quarter. Jimmy buckets, put the game in a chokehold. Mid-range, too good. 6 points and a win for the Warriors since 2022. So, Jimmy, how'd you like your first taste of playoff Steph?
Like I always say, Batman comes out of nowhere. You never see him coming, then he just falls from the sky, from a building, behind the door, and does some incredible things, man. He's going to be the reason that we do win it all. We all know that, but we got to protect him at all costs.
He was incredible, and with that type of pressure on him from Thompson and others, he just made some amazing plays, and obviously carried us offensively along with Jimmy.
Not turning the ball over, getting quality shots is always a good formula. And when we didn't do it, they got out and ran, especially in the first half, and got better in the second and got more particularly well. Obviously, you look at Fred, Jalen, Amen, didn't have their usual night shooting and still had our chance. So said to the group, guarded well enough, got to have better offensive showing, get our spacing down, and take care of the ball.
Joined now by 2008 NBA champion Kendrick Perkins. All right, Perk, look, the Rockets had a tremendous season. They came into this series with a lot of confidence. They started the game with a lot of energy, but they didn't have the playoff experience that the team on the other side did in the Golden State Warriors. How much did that impact what we saw here in Game 1?
It's going to be there. And look, we saw the Rockets, right? They're going to play hard. That's their identity. That's their culture, starting with Ime Udoka. But the unforced turnovers, trying to make the home run play, not keeping it simple. You can't do that in the playoff series, especially going against an experienced Golden State Warrior team. And also the three-point shooting with the Houston Rockets. They were 6 for 29 tonight. They're going to have to make shots, but this has been their Achilles heel all season long. It's the reason that they led the league in offensive rebounding is because they can't shoot. They rank 25th in the league in three-point shots, and that's not going to get it. This is about making shots in this series. The driving gaps are going to close. The scouting report gets thicker, and now all of a sudden you got to make plays. And I'm looking at a guy like Jalen Green. He got to come through. He's auditioning at the moment. They talking about maybe having whispers and rumors, out there about trading for Kevin Durant. Well, guess what, Jalen Green? If you don't show up, they're talking about you.
All right, so Jimmy Butler comes to Golden State after whatever happened in Miami and is supposed to bring some new life to this squad, especially for Steph, to try to make another deep playoff run. It's only Game 1, but the regular season is not the postseason. What Jimmy brought to this team in Game 1 tells you what about the Warriors in this playoff series and the future?
That they could make a legit run to the NBA Finals. I don't have them picked, But with Jimmy Butler is he's a Swiss Army knife. He'll cut you everywhere but loose. And it's not just from him scoring, it's from him going for the rebounds, getting the assists, getting the steals. And all of a sudden, he has brought joy and life to Steph Curry in this Warriors organization. Now, all of a sudden, we see the Steph that we've grown to love, right? A Steph that's out there making those threes, a Steph that's out there finishing at the basket, that's playing with joy, that's also getting defensive stops. This team continue to play at this pace, especially what they're doing defensively with the combination of Jimmy Butler and Draymond Green. This team definitely could make a run to the finals. I'm not putting them over OKC, but they are legit title contenders.
All right, Perk, sit tight. We'll get some more perspective from you on some other games we saw today. But I will say this, that Easter look you got on is Usher Board certified. Good job.
Well, I appreciate you. I appreciate you, big bro.
One thing to do it when there's no one in the gym and you're going full speed. That's, I think, what makes him unique.
And then you add Jimmy Butler into the mix, and they're finding their groove at the exact right moment of the season. They combined for 75 points last night, their second most in a game as teammates. That comes after they each had at least 30 points versus the Clippers on Sunday. And we've watched Steph for years. You've been in the building for countless of these Steph Curry performances, but he's doing it now at 37 years old. Yeah. What stands out to you there?
That he's doing it at 37 years old. Yes. I mean, he's not to discredit LeBron or Harden or some of these guys, the way they play, they move much more efficiently, right? I still always view Curry as a lightweight in a heavyweight fight. Not his fault. But he's got to jab and stick and move. He can't lean on you. And the fact that he's doing it, the way he's still doing it, as effective he is, Malika, is a testament to work ethic and a pride in what you do. And I love people that put in the time and effort, and I know he does. And to see him benefiting, and by the way, last year him not being in the postseason was to me disappointing for every basketball fan. So he's in it now. He's in the postseason, and that's all he wanted was a shot. There you go.
I mean,
pretty good.
Paul just finds his energy, and not only has he raised the level of his play, but I think the guys around him, their basketball IQ has to be great to know that he's going to come around on a handoff. If you're in a position where you're uncomfortable, Steph is going to come save you, and you have to be looking for him at all times. The ball finds energy, and he brings energy every single step of the way.
The thing that I marvel about, first of all, you bring up the passing because it doesn't matter who it is. It's like, you know how you got some guys that maybe I can make the shot, maybe I can make the shot. No one does that when they're on the court with Steph. They're like, where is he?
Yeah.
Here. Because they know this brother is that special. But let's give some love to Jimmy Buckets in this regard. First 29 games as a Warrior, he never takes more than 17 shots. You got to battle with the Clippers for the play-in, and then you got the play-in game last night against Memphis. He shoots more than 20 shots both games. Gets to the free throw line 27 times. Now, this is the thing, and I'm like, I keep telling this to folks. When you can do that, you don't have to call timeouts as much. You get a break because this brother's getting to the free throw line. You can literally, you can be Steve Kerr. You go like this, get to the line.
You're right.
Because you need a break. It's great.
Tell me, give me some, you play with this guy. I'm loving watching it. You know, this whole playoff Jimmy thing, he's delivering.
One of the most intelligent basketball players that I've ever played against. And I had this conversation with Dwayne Wade last night. And I told him to his face, you are talented as hell. LeBron has been talented as hell, but Jimmy's way smarter than y'all. He is very smart. He is an extremely smart basketball player. I mean, to the point where I used to go home after practice and just think about ways to stop him because of the way he scored on me that night. Jimmy just brings it in those moments. That's when he is alive. That's when he is most alive. He is not afraid of the moment. He loves competition. And when the chips are stacked against him, that's when you get the best Jimmy Butler.
And with Jimmy Butler added to this roster, Draymond Green, he said it. He says he believes that this group has what it takes, similar to 2022, to win a championship. The Warriors now, though, with this win, Stephen A., they get a date with the Houston Rockets. They are only the second, seventh seed to have, over the last 30 seasons, been favored over the number 2 seed Houston Rockets. Should they be?
I think they should be because of the experience of Steph Curry along with Jimmy Butler and Draymond Green. We can't ignore Draymond Green. He, by the way, he was my vote for the Defensive Player of the Year. I'm just putting it out there right now. I just think that he's been that big time. But when you look at what Steph and Jimmy bring to the table, you're looking at Houston. You can defend. You can definitely rebound. All of that's true. But can you make a basket when you need to? That's the challenge. Right. And against Golden State, I can't give them that.
It's the Houston half-court offense. Their defense, by the way, Ime Udoka's tremendous job with this team. But when you look at the Warriors and you say they have maybe the 2-3 best players in the series, that's a problem for Houston. But I don't count Houston. I mean, Houston's a heck of a team. They deserve to be the 2 seed.
I smell 7-game series.
I watched that game last night, and I watched Golden State put the ball in Jimmy's hands and use Jimmy to run the